8 years ago, we had this terrible financial crash. We have good economic, I'm at a university, I can say this, only lecture point. We have economic information that's good going back 400 years. Not a single solitary nation in the history of the world has undergone what we went through and gotten over it in less than 10 years. We can't do it unless the government has the right policies and works with the private sector and with the universities. They know the big banks are getting smaller right now. They know there are 50 to 60,000 fewer people working on Wall Street today than there were the day of the crash. And New York is rising on new entrepreneurs, bringing manufacturing back to the Bronx, to Brooklyn, to Queens. And that Manhattan's rising because of young people, like the young people in this audience, who are going out, starting their own businesses, building a new future, so we can all rise together. A college loan is the only loan you cannot refinance. Do you all know that? Yes. Places that have had high unemployment or high poverty rates for a longer period of time need more incentives for companies to invest in. And they also need a very aggressive plan to attack the prescription drug and heroin epidemic, because it is worse in small town and rural America where the economy is terrible. I ask you to vote for her because she got the best record, because she's the most qualified to be commander-in-chief, but more important than anything else, she's identified the problems, proposed solutions, her numbers add up, and she's the best single change maker I ever met. Thank you very much.
Definitely college debt and kind of just breaking the stalemate in Washington. I think that was probably some of the main things that I was worried about. I'm a registered Democrat, so this obviously kind of mattered to me. I've been kind of unsure presidentially. I've been leaning towards Hillary, but I figured I'd hear from the person who probably knows her best and see if he could change my mind at all. I think the refinancing one was probably the one that appealed to me most. I personally had to take out a private loan through my bank to pay for part of my college, and the private loan interest rate is actually lower than the federal interest rate, which seems kind of weird to me when the idea of federal aid is to help you go through college is the cheapest possible way. So I definitely like the idea of refinancing. The work studies, I think overall the ideas are good. I think there still needs to be a little bit more work to it, but overall I think it's good. My current generation's definitely very engaged on two kind of opposite ends. I will say Hillary's probably not the biggest person in my age group. It's more both Trump and Senator Sanders. But I think just that engagement's a good sign. People are my generation's starting to pay attention. And I mean, the millennials are the largest age group in America, so if we pay attention and we get out to vote, we can make a difference.
His speech was great. Of course, he is a great orator, but nonetheless, the content of the material, he spoke about college tuition, which is certainly an issue for us. He spoke about Pennsylvania and this little region that we live in, the drug problems and what he's seen happen in other regions. So he actually kind of brought it right mainstream right to us, and he addressed the issues that we are having in this community, and that to me means a lot, because that means somebody has taken the time to actually study and see the problems that we face and what we can do and what other communities have done. So I was very energized by his speech, which I already knew I would be, but nonetheless he certainly is a great spokesperson for the candidate.
I thought the message was great, and like my sister said, he's such a great orator anyway, and he was on top of everything. He hit all the points for me. I feel energized and ready to get out there and do some real politicking.